The Green Bay Packers are making moves. It's March Madness in Green Bay. Let's go. March Madness here in Packer Nation, folks. Let's go.
This is Tom Grossi, and you're watching the PackReacts podcast.
Let's go.
Pack is back, baby. Pack is back.
Go.
Baby. Let's go.
Emergency podcast, Jeremy. Emergency podcast.
Yes. Emergency
what a day.
Yes.
What were you doing today? It's pretty, what do you call it? Quiet day, right?
Oh, yeah. Very quiet. I don't know what. Did you see anything happen today, Mike?
Nah, I just woke up, said, hey, you want to do a podcast? I'm pretty bored today. Let's do it. So that's what happened. But no, What a crazy day, Jeremy. What a crazy day.
Woo!
Bittersweet day to be a Packers fan, that's for sure.
Oh, yes.
I think we should start off the podcast on a little bit more of a somber note. Two great Packers we lost today.
Yes.
Not obviously lost, but lost on the team. David Bakhtiari, first of all, what a career in Green Bay. Obviously, the end was not the way we'd like it. It's pretty sad, but it was the right move. Look, we saved $20 million on the cap.
Yep.
His knee might be there, might not. We're not too sure, but at the end of the day, this team is trying to get younger. David Bakhtiari, although at healthy, is one of the better left tackles in the league at this point, is not the right move to keep David Bakhtiari right now. We all kind of knew that, and it was not a surprise. So, that's the way that they started off, and it really wasn't a surprise. Maybe some people thought it would happen a little bit later. It happened a little bit earlier, but I think that's good. Look, if Bakhtiari thinks he could play, let's cut bait sooner rather than later. Let him get on another team, New York Jets probably, but give him kind of his due. And obviously the other one, Aaron Jones is the is that Aaron Jones behind you? Who's that?
That's just a random Packer.
It's nobody. Aaron Jones was the last person on the Packers that signed my hat, which I'm not wearing right now. But Aaron Jones, I remember when Aaron Jones first entered the league. And he was behind
Jamal,
right? And then McCarthy used him sparingly, but basically it was very obvious that this guy is a very dynamic back, not the biggest back in the world by far, but very dynamic, very shifty, just really a great guy. He became one of my favorite Packers, really, really fast.
Mm-hmm.
So it's one of those things where I did not want to see him leave. I was really happy. I don't want to get to our signings yet, but I was really happy when we signed the running back earlier today. But I thought, that'd be the opportunity for having a really great duo. Aaron Jones and Josh Jacobs, of course. Unfortunately, it wasn't in the cards. I think there were some monetary aspects in play, probably some respect and some other emotional aspects in play.
Yep. Definitely.
I've been talking a lot. I want to let you give your impact, but that's really the hurt here, is losing Aaron Jones. I'm sure I could speak for most of Packers fans where he was one of our favorite players, if not our favorite player of the recent history. And losing him really hurts, honestly, even more than Aaron Rodgers in some opinions. Aaron Rodgers' time had kind of come. Aaron Jones, probably could have been here for a little bit longer if things would have played out better. So that's the one that hurts.
Well, before we get into that, I'd first like to say welcome to PackReacts, ladies and gentlemen, as we jumped right into it.
It's an emergency. We don't have time for welcomes.
Well, we got to make it very quick to make the quick introductions. We got Mike Arvonio on our other side, our other co-host. And before I give my thoughts, I had Packers trivia if Mike wanted to do it.
Let's do it.
All right. quick Packers trivia for you guys out there in Twitter and the YouTube, real quick, ladies and gentlemen. And this is multiple choice because I'm going to be fair with Mike here. Who was the first Green Bay Packer to gain more than 8,000 career rushing yards? Amon Green, Dorsey Levens, Jim Taylor, or John Brockington?
So this is similar to one of your last questions. So we know Armand Green is the all-time leading rusher in Packers history.
Mhm.
I did look at the stats right after that, so I should know this. Sorry, what are the options again?
Amon Green, Dorsey Levens, Jim Taylor, or John Brockington?
Jim Taylor?
Is that your final answer?
Yes.
You are correct, sir.
Let's go. I haven't been wrong recently.
You were wrong last week.
No, I wasn't.
You did.
I got the Acme Packers.
You said the Indian.
No, I didn't. I said Acme.
I heard you say Indian.
No, I said. Remember, I said that I knew that Indian came before the Acme, right?
Yeah. Yes, but you said the Indian Packers is your final answer.
No, I didn't. We're gonna go back to the tape. All right, you explain this one. I'll go back to the tape.
All right.
Well, wait 1 second. Will we get flagged for showing our own video on YouTube?
I have no idea, Mike. So
I bet you we will. You know, our own content that we spent. No.
Yeah.
We spent a lot of time on. We'll probably get flagged for it. But all right, go ahead.
All right. So Mike's gonna look up for the challenge license. Mike's calling a challenge there. But the Packers made some free agency moves, and I like to dedicate this free agency day to Reggie White a bit because he was the first player to set the mark for the Packers free agency, and I really love the guy. But with Aaron, it's a bittersweet day that Mike mentioned. It was a bittersweet day as a Packer fan because I was very annoyed when we signed Josh Jacobs when we first signed him. Like not on Josh Jacobs, but it meant to me right off the bat that what are we doing with Aaron Jones? And I was talking with Mike and our other current guest, John, on this. And Mike was thinking we were keeping Aaron Jones. We were working on a deal with him. And I was just like, I don't see Aaron Jones stay. There's no way you can keep both of like a 1-2 punch. I wanted Aaron Jones to stay badly. He's a Packer and one of my favorite Packers. And just kind of sad to see him go. However, it was kind of reminded me of David Bakhtiari's situation where he was not being healthy. He could barely play this season. He's getting a bit up there in age. Jacobs is younger, even though Jacobs had a terrible start last year or had a terrible career season last year. I still think it's better for him. I think he'll have a better season, given that he's a better O-line. Because if you watched him last year, especially me in fantasy football, where I took Josh Jacobs, that was one of the worst times you could be a fantasy owner of Josh Jacobs. Brutally terrible, folks. Brutally terrible. But I really like with Josh Jacobs here. He's much younger. I think he's a bit faster. Doesn't fumble that much and gets less hurt. Now, with the fumble occurrence, he doesn't fumble that much like what we saw Aaron Jones in the playoffs. He fumbled in crucial key moments where Mike has mentioned before against the 49ers twice, the Buccaneers. And you just got to hope Josh Jacobs does well. I mean, this deal that I'm looking at here, 4 years for $48 million, $12 million guaranteed. I think that's a pretty good deal. I mean, it's kind of like a low risk, high rewards situation for me because he's guaranteed $12 million, and that could just last for a whole season. Then after that, he can be cut right off the bat. He's potentially able to make that. So I would say that, but with Aaron Jones, it's just a pain. It's just a pain there to see that. So that's my one sad part I just didn't like about it. Like, I get that Josh Jacobs is better than Aaron Jones, but it's just sad to see what he represents as a Packer and off the field too. So I'm going to miss Aaron Jones, and thank you to him. So, yeah. And then Dave Bakhtiari, we also released another player. I miss him. I love the Beer Chucks. The Beer Chucks is what made me love this kid. He was just awesome. Awesome to watch as a Packer. I mean, he went through so many injuries, so many, even before like the injury occurred on New Year's Eve a couple years ago back. Just amazing left tackle. He's got a lot of all-pros. I could easily see him make the Hall of Fame. Now, he's most likely going to be a New York Packer, folks, a New York Jet, but I nickname the New York Packers, folks, or the Green Bay Jets if you want to make the other nickname. But I prefer New York Packers, folks.
New York Packers.
Yeah, New York Packers.
Or so Packers East.
Oh, Packers East.
Green Bay East. Green Bay East, sorry.
Green Bay East, yes. So you'll be seeing that as if I would be. I mean, I would like Bakhtiari to go play still. A, for a complimentary pick for the Packers, but two, I just like to see him keep it going here. I just like to see him play one more. If it's with Rodgers, I'll just be fine with it. I would like it too. So those are like the sad parts of like bittersweet day as a Packer. But I was super hyped when we got Xavier McKinney. That was the one guy on my bucket list I want the Packers to get. Get him. This is the right deal. Fits the scheme for Jeff Hafley, and he fits all the criteria that the Packers need on defense. And not only did we improve safety, we just addressed our biggest need on this defense and this team, folks. We're not done yet, too, because we also released Devondre Campbell, which was another sad thing. And it's pretty nice seeing Devondre come from just coming off the practice, just sign him off the practice squad, make all pro and contribute. He was pretty good. Then last year, injuries just hurt him, and he wasn't the same. So, also going to miss Devondre Campbell. Was a fun player to watch, too, for the Packers. But back to Xavier McKinney. He just lights up. He is super young. He can play. He didn't allow a touchdown through over 500 snaps. He's very good in pass coverage, too. So I think this is the right player that the Packers need, and this was a home run. This was a home run for the Packers. Whether it was getting rid of Bakhtiari and Jones, I still think it was a great day to be a Green Bay Packer fan, even if it's a bittersweet moment. I still think that's the case there. And I don't think the Packers are done yet, Mike. I still don't think we're done yet. I could see another free agency move happen very soon. Whether that could be signing another safety for like a low tier, because they are scheduled to meet with one of the former Jaguars safeties. I forget his name. And then I wouldn't be surprised if we go after a linebacker. I would not be surprised since we release Campbell. I wouldn't be surprised if we go after like a low tier guy. But these are some of the positions you're probably going to address in the draft. Like the first round pick, this is going to be interesting though, because it could go offensive line, which some of the players from some former Packers got signed today, like Darnell Savage got a 3-year deal with the Jacksonville Jaguars, which I didn't think Packers were going to re-sign for that much, and I don't think he deserves that. Then John Runyon, that contract and that deal was out of nowhere. I didn't think he would get that much. I would have paid him maybe $6-7 million per season. He got paid $10 million per season, $30 million total for 3 years. So he pretty much got that is crazy. He pretty much got he pretty much got the MVS kind of deal where we just did not feel like he's worth that much because Runyon was still battling for his job throughout the season. We didn't like him sometimes. That's including me and Mike. We didn't like him sometimes. But he did show up here and there. But again, going to miss Runyon a bit, just a little bit. Not going to miss him too much, but it's just crazy to see that deal happen. But I still don't think the Packers are done, Mike. I just still think we're going to get maybe one more player. I still think we have enough money to make one more small deal. Even if it's not like a big – high tier guy that we went after like Xavier McKinney and Josh Jacobs. I think we can get a lower tier free agent coming in.
Yeah, sorry. I was trying to find it. The challenge flag is still out there. While I talk, if you want to look for it, go for it. But it's hard to do because so I definitely got it right though last week. I definitely know the challenge is out there, and I'm gonna win the challenge.
We'll see.
But if you want to look for it, go ahead. All right, so heard some of it. I was looking for that subtitles. Sorry, but anyway, going on to who we got, right? Because I started off on a somber note. Let's go to the positive note. Jeremy almost did a lot of this. Josh Jacobs, I really love that deal, man. I think Josh Jacobs had a great few seasons there in the beginning of his career. I thought he had a good rookie season. His 2022 season. I just want to look at his stats right now. I know last year wasn't great, but the thing is look, the what do you call it? That's just Josh Jacobs by season. Stats by season.
Yeah, like last year was it was one of his worst stat seasons of production, but like the year prior, he was the leader in rushing yards for the NFL.
And he still had 805 rushing yards last year. Right. The year prior, 2022, he had 1,700, almost 1,700 yards. He had 4.9 yards per carry. Just beat his rookie season at 4.8, which I remember he had a really good rookie season. He had 12 rushing touchdowns 2 seasons ago. Also in his second season, sophomore season, 7-9, 12-6. I wouldn't even say last year was a bad season. I really wouldn't. It's definitely a down season compared to his standards, but not a bad season. 805 yards, 3.5 yards per carry, not great. 6 touchdowns, okay. His receiving yards, his receiving yards are not going to be like Aaron Jones, that's for sure. The best was in 2022 with 400 yards. But he's never had a receiving touchdown in his career, actually, which is interesting.
Hmm.
So he's a true running back. I mean, this is a true running back. Aaron
Yeah.
Jones is and that's why I thought if you could have got Aaron Jones back, Jeremy,
Yeah.
right, it would have been great. Absolutely great. It would have been the exact thing what AJ Dillon and Aaron Jones would have been. Aaron Jones cannot carry the load at this point of his career. He just
No.
can't. We know that he's a small back. Backs take a lot of hits and a lot of stress on their bodies. And
Yeah.
Aaron Jones is not a every back guy. It's just not
No.
who he is. But Josh Jacobs is that guy, right? So you put Josh Jacobs and Aaron Jones in the backfield. Now you have an opportunity to run the ball, right? You got to have guys in the box because you have Josh Jacobs, or play action. Aaron Jones on the outside, now opens things up on the passing game. Or what you do is you could pass or rush it to either guy. I'd have both options on the field. I could also take Aaron Jones, audible or motion him out into the receiver spot, have Aaron Jones be like a slot receiver guy. I think Matt LaFleur could have done so many things with Josh Jacobs and Aaron Jones on the field at the same time. And that's what I was excited for, because it take the load off Aaron Jones' body, keep the explosiveness, keep the playmaking ability that Aaron Jones brings to the game, but also have the ground and pound guy, the guy that's proven number one back in this league. Unfortunately, that's not where we're at, and I'll explain to you why I think where we're at today. Because I think if you asked anybody, I think this probably would have been ideal scenario in the Packers' mind, our mind, most people's mind.
Yep.
So, I think what happened was, look, AJ Dillon, I don't think is coming back to the Packers. I don't think that Aaron Jones leaving is going to change that, because Josh Jacobs and AJ Dillon are somewhat similar backs. I think the Packers probably go to the draft and try to get a younger, more explosive back. So that'll be interesting now to see kind of what running backs are out there. I definitely want to do a better job on the market and see what's going on there. I know we picked a guy last week from Wisconsin, if I'm not correct, right? That the guy we picked?
We picked Braylon Allen last week.
Braylon Allen. So I definitely think the Packers be in the market for like an explosive back kind of guy. But I think we have our workhorse. I think Josh Jacobs is the guy. I think Matt LaFleur is definitely going to scheme him open. Jordan Love is a much better quarterback than Jimmy Garoppolo. I'm not too worried about his last year's season. I think he'll bounce back. I'm pretty certain. Even Devontae Adams didn't have a great season last year on that Raiders offense. So I'm not too concerned. I think that this is a step up from Aaron Jones. Definitely a step up from AJ Dillon. And the only reason I say it's a step up from Aaron Jones is because I think that Josh Jacobs could do this game in, game out for a lot of snaps, and have continued production. Where we're going to lose the playmaking ability, Jeremy. We're going to lose the playmaking. We won that game against Dallas single-handedly because Aaron
Jones.
But the thing was, he wasn't there for half the season. So there's injury concerns, like you had brought up in our group chat earlier. There's durability concerns. It would have been nice to get him back, but here's the reason why I don't think they were willing to pay him top tier money anymore, because
they were not.
He's just not. There's durability concerns, right? So because they're not willing to pay him top tier money, and they also had a big salary cap hit, they had to do something about it. And I think Aaron Jones has taken team friendly deals in the past. He's taken pay cuts. He's pushed money out. He's done all these things. And I think this was kind of the straw that broke the camel's back for him, because look, running backs, it's no secret that running backs do not have a long shelf life in the NFL. Running backs will be sooner rather than later out of the league. So you only have a certain amount of time to make a lot of money. Now, Aaron Jones has not been underpaid, but he's also not been paid the top running back. Well, I guess he was. He was paid pretty handsomely. He was paid pretty handsomely. But the Packers also make him took a pay cut, move some money around. I don't think he wanted to do it again, honestly. I think that he knows this is probably his last contract. He'll probably get a decent amount of money out on the market. He probably didn't want to do that. He probably said, "Look, I'm a veteran presence here. You got rid of Aaron Rodgers. Like, this is my time that you need to pay me now. And I kind of get it. I don't really blame him. I mean, he's been a selfless guy this whole time. At a certain point, he needs to stand up for himself. Otherwise, what's going to happen? He's going to get to the age where no one's going to pay him anymore. And then, he's just that he lost his opportunity to make all his money. So I can't blame him, right?
Yes. Just like to report real quickly about this. Matt Schneidman, sources from DM Ruzini and me. Packers wanted Aaron Jones to take at least a 50% cut from his final year of his deal after being released. Jones is drawing interest from, you guessed it, the Minnesota Vikings.
Yeah, I'm sure. I mean, I bet you he goes intra-division. But who's even their quarterback? I mean, are there any quarterbacks on the market right now? Other than Sam Darnold?
Sam Darnold to become a Minnesota Viking is what the rumors are being out there right now. So
I mean, the Vikings probably gonna have to draft somebody.
They're not, because Kurtz, and we'll get to him in a bit, went to Atlanta, who had a payday, and the next quarterback who went off the list was Gardner Minshew, who went to the Raiders for a 2-year deal for $25 million. And then Jacoby Brissett went back to New England. So the free agency for the quarterback market is pretty much done, unless you want to go trade for Justin Fields. And I don't think Minnesota will be trading for Justin Fields because I don't think the Bears would allow it.
Right. So we'll see what happens. But, I don't think Minnesota is a super attractive destination at this point.
No, they've just been working on.
The Lions will need a running back. The Bears, they have Montgomery, right?
Well, Lions have David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs. Bears got Swift today.
Wait, what?
The Bears got DeAndre Swift today.
Really?
Yes, they signed him to a 3-year deal for about $23 million. They signed him that today, which
right.
So I think that's kind of good for us because I don't think he's that great anymore. Then for Detroit, they lost some of their offensive line today. One, I believe, was Jonah Jackson. He went to the LA Rams. He got signed. I think they did lose another guy, but for running back wise for them, they still have Jahmyr Gibbs and Dave Montgomery, which are still there. And the only thing Detroit really did today was they traded for Carlton Davis from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Okay.
Which was like a 3rd and a 4th round pick or 3rd and 5th round pick to get him, Mike. So there was that. Minnesota, they just really addressed defense because they are not going to bring back Daniil Hunter, not going to bring back their other guy who showed potential for their edge rusher. They signed the guy from Houston, Grenard, who got paid $75 million, I believe, for 4 years. And they addressed linebacker. They signed 2 linebackers today, Ginkel and somebody else I can't remember off the top of my head. And that's all they did really. They all did that. And the question is going to come down for Minnesota, quarterback and receiver. Bears, obviously, we all know they're going for quarterback. Lions, I mean, they're still in it. That's the one team you got to keep your eyes on too, a little bit here. But Packers, I mean, I will say they had a pretty good job today. I mean, besides the Aaron Jones, Dave Bakhtiari part, I still say it was a great day because obviously need happen and Devontae Campbell, excuse me. So I think it was a very good day for the Packers. And I mean, Aaron Jones, personally, I would want him back, but we already said what's happening. And there's only one way I could see it happening is if he comes back, which is very rare and most likely not going to happen. The last time the Packers did of releasing a player and coming back, that was A.J. Hawk very many years ago, folks, where Packers released him and A.J. Hawk thought he'd get something in the market and get some more money. He couldn't, and then Packers gone back for a lower deal. So, there was that, though. There was that happening, and then all I care if I'm for Aaron Jones is just to go to the AFC. Just go there. Go to Houston. I mean, Houston needs something. They were supposed to get Saquon Barkley, and Philadelphia got Saquon today. So, and then, so that happened. And there were a couple trades today. Brian Burns, he got the big deal, like over $150 million, which was ridiculous for 5 years. And then Kirk Cousins, that was way overpaid. That was a bidding war probably. I don't think he was worth that much, given he's 35, 4-year deal. I don't know if he's going to play all that, but I mean, it's very interesting since Kirk Cousins is not going to be in Minnesota anymore. I mean, he couldn't win in our division, really. He really couldn't. So I don't know. What do you think, Mike?
Sorry, we got the challenge flag.
Up. What is what is?
You ready?
Yes, play it.
Hopefully, we don't get flagged for having our own video up.
I don't think we'll get flagged.
Uh-oh.
Well, that's great audio from last week.
Oh, what's going on my internet? Sorry, guys. I'm gonna
I
get on
think
the
it's
phone
a
with
video.
Optus, like, right after this.
Hold on, I can't hear a thing, Mike. Really?
Wait. I said
Sorry,
it.
Sorry, I heard Indian Packers back there. Hey.
Okay, so
Oh,
I definitely said it, but I agree. We never really said final answer that time.
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But what do you call it? Uh-oh, did I just leave one of them? No, I didn't. Sorry. I definitely said Acme in my mind, so I would. Anyway, sorry. Okay, I'm back. So yeah. Sorry, what were you saying? I was doing
I was
that.
asking your thoughts of the whole Kirk Cousins situation. Where do you think the Packers go from here? And I was talking about there could be Aaron Jones reunion, but it's very unlikely. Like the last time,
He just posted
it happened,
He just posted that thank you Green Bay. It's not happening. He's gone.
Yeah, because the last time the Packers did that and got a player back was AJ Hawk. They released him. AJ Hawk thought he could get a lot of money. He didn't, and he got signed a lower deal back to the Packers.
Yeah, I don't think so at this point. After he posted that, I think somebody will pay him.
I think someone will.
Yeah, 50% pay cut. That's a little bit egregious. I definitely don't think that's right. Maybe I don't know. Maybe take a 20% haircut or something like that. Kirk Cousins. So I think that's big. I think it's a big move for the Packers. So Kirk Cousins is not an MVP quarterback, but he's a reliable dude. He's always been a reliable guy his whole season. I mean his whole career. And the Vikings were always in it with Kirk Cousins. He was always kind of did what needed to be done to be in the conversation. Now there's a question, what happens with Justin Jefferson? Does he want to re-sign? I mean, his contract's probably at the end of next year. Is that correct, Justin Jefferson?
Yeah.
Obviously got the 5th-year option, right? But
they're looking for the extension.
But they haven't extended him yet. So they're going to have some stability there for him to want to come back to Minnesota. Otherwise, I don't blame him for going somewhere else. Stephon Diggs did it already, so it's not something that's completely out of the question of a generational talent at receiver leaving, the Minnesota Vikings. So it's definitely, I think, a win for the Packers. I posted the meme of somebody call the ambulance, but not on me. Did you see that for the NFC North?
No,
Yeah, you should look it up. It's funny. It's like an old guy that's like at his car, and he's like pretending to be hurt. And the meme says somebody call an ambulance, and he takes a gun out on the guy. He's like, but
I saw it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. But anyway, so it's like that. The Packers were supposed to be in a rebuilding year, right? We almost went to the NFC Championship game, and now I think that we're the leaders in the conference, in the division. I think again, I think the Vikings are done. I think the Bears, even if they get Caleb Williams and don't trade out, I still think that they're probably not going to be number one this year. The Lions, obviously, the team to beat, but I think they're beatable. Look, they don't have a barn burner of a quarterback. They have a good running game, of course. They have a good defense. I think they're going to be the team to beat. Obviously, a good offensive line. It could definitely be the team to beat. Don't get me wrong, but the Packers are going to be right up there with them.
Yep.
So, go ahead.
I was going to say the only thing really the Lions lost was offensive line today, but they gained secondary control from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They got Carlton Davis.
Got it. So yeah, so we'll see what happens. But look, the Packers definitely got better today. They definitely got worse in some ways. But the guy we haven't even brought up, I don't think anyone said it. Maybe you did. I wasn't listening because I've been trying to prove you wrong there with the challenge. But have we talked about Xavier McKinney yet?
Okay. Well, Mike clearly did not listen at all.
I was not listening. I wasn't
All
listening.
right, so Packers. I mentioned again. This was my home run pick.
Right.
This was the top guy. I wanted this guy numerous times. This was Jeff Hafley guy. This was the Jeff Hafley fits everything I wanted. This guy. This is the exact player we need him, and this could be our next. This could be our Charles Woodson, a younger version of Charles Woodson.
That's the thing. That's the thing, right, Jeremy? Charles Woodson, we got at the end of his career.
Yes.
We said the same thing with Adrian Amos, but I think this is a different situation. I think we got
We all
Xavier
know.
McKinney for one reason and one reason only, and his name. Sorry.
It was the passing defensive game coordinator for the Packers because he was the
Derek
scout.
Ansley, right?
Yes, Derek Ansley. He was the scout for Alabama when he was at Alabama.
Is that what it was?
Yes, he was the scout at Alabama. And here's something, I don't know if you watched the video, Mike. If you watch the Kay Adams video with her interviewing Xavier McKinney, she brings that up. And Lily asks, would you be interested in going to Green Bay? And Xavier says, oh, I haven't talked to my scout. I didn't even realize he was with the Packers till weeks ago. I got to call him. I got to go. And he was very interested coming to Green Bay. So I think Kay Adams, a shout out to her for helping push the lead for him to go to the Packers.
And it's on YouTube?
Yes.
All right, I'll have to watch it after this. Yeah, I think that's a big thing. But look, the Packers are not a vacation destination, definitely Green Bay, right? So I'm a little bit surprised that we were able to get a guy at his beginning of his career. I mean, this has been one of the bigger free agent signings we've had. Josh Jacobs is obviously the big name, just he's a running back, fantasy and all that. But I think the Xavier McKinney signing could be a generational move here. For the Packers. Like it could be one of those signs where we've completely upgraded from Darnell Savage. That's for sure. Xavier McKinney is what Darnell Savage should have been. I saw some of the interceptions. Look, I gotta be honest. I live in New York, but I don't like the Giants. I try not to watch them. I just don't like the Giants. So I am not a huge follower of Xavier McKinney's work. But I was watching his highlights today, and man, some of these interceptions on the sideline. Jumped the routes, got his feet in. I mean, really impressive stuff. And what I was watching him, Andy Herman's emergency podcast today, right?
Yep.
Safety in theory is not a premium position. Don't put a lot of money into it.
Yep.
And the problem is he's a deep safety. So, there could be 90 or 70, 60% of plays where he's not even in the realm of the play. Like you wouldn't even see him. He's basically out in the parking lot.
Yep.
But what Andy brought up, which I think is important, right? Like, yeah, he might not be around, but the reason why he's not in the play is because they're not. Look at the why we didn't go to the Super Bowl against the Buccaneers, right? What's one of the biggest plays in that game? Why we didn't go to the Super Bowl?
Well, obviously the Aaron Rodgers part, but defensively, it was the Scotty Moore touchdown where we couldn't throw the ball down. Mostly Kevin King, though.
Absolutely, right? There was no over-the-top protection there. Where, hey, if Xavier McKinney is scouting the center field over there, and Kevin King lets the guy go right by him, and he makes the play in the ball and tackles him, maybe they get a field goal, but they don't get a touchdown. And granted, I don't even think they could get a field. Wasn't it like that was with no time remaining that touchdown?
That was no time remaining. Yeah,
it was like literally the worst case scenario. But if you had that guy back there, it wouldn't happen. So just by him basically shutting down and keeping everything in front of him, it opens up the rest of the defense to focus on their man and not have to worry about how the guy's going to beat me over the top because we got Xavier McKinney over there paroling the deep part of the field. So it's going to open up a lot of things. Jair could worry about what's in front of him. You could have whoever your in the box safety is, right? That's what we need. Right now we don't have that. worry about more blitzing. You can blitz more, right? Because you have our guy out there that is, really reliable, strong safety or deep safety. But it's important still that we keep building this defensive backfield. I think we need at least 2 more safeties. What did we say? We said 4 safeties. You said?
I said total of 4 safeties. I said 2 safeties in free agency, 2 in the draft. I'd say.
Right. I'd be okay. Like, look, we made a big splash to safety. I wouldn't make another big splash to safety right now. I'd be okay for one of these like guys you get maybe 2 months down the line. That's vet minimum. I'm definitely okay with that. But yeah, I mean, look, we're gonna have to replace John Runyon as much as that's not a big loss in my opinion, and they overpaid him. I definitely wouldn't pay
Well,
that. We're gonna have to replace him.
Well, we have a replacement. That is Sean Ryan, sir.
That's if you trust John Ryan.
Well, he's improved a bit if you've watched him. Ever since he takes over, Mike, he does a lot better, though.
Yeah.
But I still think we need to draft a guard for competition, though.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't think Sean Ryan's the answer. I think that they're going to have to draft somebody. I mean, guards got a ton of money. The guy in Miami got 5 years, $100 million. Is that correct?
I know who was it? Landon Dickerson from the Eagles he was the 4th highest paid guard. Then it was the Dolphins guy. Then, because the Dolphins guy got paid a lot of money.
Yeah, Hunt.
Robert Hunt. Yeah, I think
5 years. I didn't even know who this guy was beforehand. I mean, granted, he's offensive lineman. He's on Robert Hunt.
2020 draft, if I'm correct.
Yeah, the name sounds familiar, but 5 years, $100 million for a guard. I mean, that's a lot of money for a guard.
Yeah, this is why we go cheaper option, Mike. This is why we're not going to be paying that much for a guard or go out.
Well, what's Elgin Jenkins' salary?
I don't even know. He was at the time, he was very highly paid, though. He was highly paid, Mike. And that was a concern.
4 years, 68. Wow. That was a bargain compared to 5 years, 100.
And yeah, that's when we signed him in, if I'm correct, we signed him in 2021, if I'm correct, is when we signed him.
Oh my God. 4 years, 68 compared to 5 and 100. I mean, I saw that $100 million. I went, whoa, for a guard? You kidding me?
It's insane. The market is literally insane right now.
I mean, did John Runyon Jr. get more than Elgin J? What's John Runyon making?
$30 million.
Oh yeah, right. 3 years, 30 million.
Yes.
All right, so he didn't get more than what he
that would have been insane if he did.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean that I think that's an overpay. You're right. I think he's worth about maybe 3 years, 25 million. 7, 8, 14, 21, 8, 16, 20. Yeah, about 8 million a year. So 3 years, 25 million. That I think sounds right. Instead, he got what, 330?
Yeah, 330.
I mean, that's crazy. That's an overpay. Anything with a double number for the John Runyon's number, that's crazy. Good for him, though. Hey, look, I'm all for it. Like, he seemed like a nice guy. Good for him. Good for his family. I'm not mad that he got the money. I'm actually kind of glad. Screw the Giants. Let them. What do you call it? Waste all their money on John Runyon. But
they had a more of a worse day, Mike. More of a worse day.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Well, they did get Brian Burns, though. They did. They traded for Brian Burns.
That was a steal trade, in my opinion, given the value of what they got.
What they pay for him?
A 2nd and a 5th round for the trade.
What?
Yeah.
Oh man.
But if you look at the contract, though, that's insane, though, Mike. The contract for him is insane. I like him.
Oh, they gave him an extension. The Panthers didn't want to pay him.
Look at how much money he's getting paid with that extension.
But they paid Robert Hunt, right? Because Robert Hunt was the guy that they paid.
Well, he went to the Dolphins. It was with the Dolphins.
No, it didn't go the other way.
No, Brian Burns went to the Giants. Robert Hunt stayed with the Dolphins.
No, he went to the Panthers.
I don't remember him.
No. He was on the Dolphins, but he went to the Panthers. The Panthers were on that.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
So instead of giving Brian Burns $150 million, they're giving Robert Hunt $100 million.
That's a Panther organization where they do stupid
David
trades.
Tepper, what's going on? He used to be my client. It doesn't make any sense.
I don't get them. I don't get the Panthers at all. I just don't understand that organization. I don't. At least I'm not a Panthers fan. That's all I'm happy for. But hey, no offense to you Panther fans, but it's rough out there for them. It's very rough. But yeah,
And they
Giants.
swapped 5th-round picks, so they didn't even lose a 5th-round.
Oh,
They just moved down 25 spot. So they gave away number 39, the 2nd-round pick, moved down 25 spots in the 5th,
that's
and
it.
yeah, and then they paid 150 million. So hey, look, a lot of money. But Brian Burns is one of the better pass rushers.
Oh yeah,
Somebody that the Packers should have probably got. Remember when he was in the draft?
I
People wanted
wanted.
the Packers to get him.
It was my number one guy. I wanted the Packers to get, and we did not get. And I was like, well, that's fun, guys.
Yeah. So like, good for the Giants there. I mean, they got a pretty good pass rush now. They got Kayvon Thibodeau,
Yep.
Brian Burns.
Yep.
Probably other people. Leonard Williams, right?
No, not
Where's
Leonard
he
Williams.
gone?
He was with the
Who's there?
Seahawks. He was with the Seahawks, and then just today he re-signed with the Seahawks for a 3-year deal.
Sorry, who's the? He was on the Giants. So who's the other guys that they have? The Giants.
Kayvon Thibodeau, now Brian Burns, Dexter Lawrence.
Dexter Lawrence. That's what I'm thinking.
He's a defensive tackle.
Yeah, defensive tackle. But yeah, they always have a good, going back to the Michael Strahan days. The four-finger guy. What's his name?
Jason Pierre-Paul.
Jason Pierre-Paul. They always. The
Justin
Giants
Tuck.
always have a good, front. They always a 4-3 defense. Did the Packers 4-3? Remind me. We're moving to 4-3 with Hafley, right?
We're moving to a 4-3 defense. We're not doing a 5-2-1. We did not, because that was what the Seahawks are going to do now. We did not consider that. So we're doing so we're going to do a 4-3 defense where we're going to have 4 defensive linemen now. So I would not be surprised if we attack defensive line right off the bat. I mean, we already have highly invested in Wyatt. We've already invested in him. We already got Kenny Clark. Then you got to get some other guys like Kobe Wooden. He's done pretty good. But you got to get some other guys in there. You got to make the run stop because that is a big thing for this Packers defense and has been a crucial thing with us. Doing me for so many years too. But yeah, but I would like to say before we get back to that Mike actually did scout Xavier McKinney at the Packers-Giants game. So he got to see him personally lose the game.
That is true. Although, I'll be honest, I was not paying attention to Xavier McKinney. Did he make any big plays?
I don't remember off the top of my head. That's been a while. But let the record show that Mike was the lazy scout that night. He took the night off from scouting from his opponents. He watched the Packers game in spirit. Yeah, actually. So, yeah.
Let's see.
That happened. And then what else was there? Yeah, that was a big thing that happened. Then another big thing with the Kirk Cousins thing is the Kirk Cousins curse is leaving the NFC North, folks. If you lose to Kirk Cousins once a year or lose him once a time, folks, in the same year, you do not win the Super Bowl. And that is a fact. If you look at Kirk Cousins' career and the teams that have lost to Kirk Cousins, they have not won the Super Bowl. So the Kirk Cousins curse is out of Lambeau. So that's why the Packers never won the Super Bowl these past couple of years is because of that, folks. That's the main reason why.
So apparently, Xavier McKinney got a fumble recovery against us this year. Who fumbled again?
Probably A.J. Dillon. No, I think Jordan Love did. I think it was Jordan Love.
2 fumbles and an interception. Let's see. Sorry. I remember. I know Saquon did have a big fumble. I remember that.
Yeah,
I remember that.
That's why we don't sign because of that fumble, Mike. Which his deal was a bit high too, folks. It was more. Than,
was it on the kickoff? Wasn't it like a muff punt
for us or them?
Yeah, Keyshawn Nixon had a fumbled punt return.
Yeah, Keyshawn.
But I don't think Xavier McKinney would have been had the punt covered, right?
No, he would have to play special teams on that. But I don't know if he plays special teams.
So it probably was whatever other fumble there was, but I don't know. I can't find it right now. But anyway, good stuff. I mean, look, I think it's a big signing, the Xavier McKinney sign. I really do. I think this is going to have a lot of downstream effects. What do we have for 4 or 5 years signed?
4 years.
4 years, right? So that's basically a rookie contract. Someone not in the first round, obviously not money wise, but in terms of length. So this is a good period of time where we have this guy that's 25 years old. He's going to be 25, 29. He can get another contract at the end. So if he plays well, he could be in Green Bay for another 10 years in theory. I think it's big because we needed a big safety. We got Anthony Johnson Jr. is really the only guy that's worth something at safety at the moment.
Yeah.
We lost Darnell Savage for sure today. Like we said, we're going to need definitely 2, maybe 3 players either through the draft or through the bottom barrel of free agency. So, we'll see what happens. Justin Simmons did not get signed today, right? But I don't think the Packers.
He's too much for us. He's too much rich blood for us. Like we cannot afford him. Like
no,
he
absolutely
was
not.
giving like a $30 million hit cap hit, and we cannot afford that.
No, absolutely not. No, we got our guy. That's it. Now we could kind of see what else is out there for bottom pickings, but we just need our Robin. We already have our Batman at the safety position. So look, that's a big. I think that's the win of the free agency here. Anton Winfield came off, so I think the big guy out there was Xavier McKinney. Obviously, people could say, well, Saquon. That's a running back. We got Josh Jacobs. I mean, right now, I think we're the winners of free agency. I don't think there's a team out there.
Oh, there's debate of a very nearby team by us, Mike, as the Philadelphia Eagles.
I know, yeah. Well, they got Saquon. They've gotten. They got somebody else.
They got the Jets guy who's a defensive end. The guy who I don't know if he got all pro or not, but he got very recognition. And then they extend Landon Dickerson to the 4th highest paid money, and then apparently Eagles are not done yet for some reason.
Where are the Eagles getting all this money from?
That's a great question. Probably, I don't know. I don't know. That's a great question, Mike.
How much are they paying Saquon?
It was close to.
They have like $43 million of cap space. The Eagles. Did they lose people?
Well, they're probably gonna have to cut. Well, they did lose Jason Kelsey, who retired. Yeah. They lost Javon Hargrave, who was last year. They're probably gonna have to trade Josh Sweat or Hassan Reddick very soon because Hassan Reddick wants a new deal. Then they lost their safeties. They've lost, which still weren't good. They lost C.J. Gardner-Johnson last year. Darius Slay's a bit overpaid. Who else? They lost DeAndre Swift today. There's going to have to be the Eagles still have to make some extensions too. They have to extend Devontae Smith. Some other contracts are going to have to come up soon. There's a very small window for this team. The money's going to run out sometime for this team, and they're going to have to pay for that.
3 years, 37. That's it. $37.75 million.
Yeah. And he's guaranteed, I believe, $25 million. Compared to the Packers, it's $12 million. Yeah. He's getting paid a little bit more than Saquon. Than Josh Jacobs. Because Jacobs is guaranteed $12 million. Barkley, I believe, is guaranteed $25 million. So, yeah.
That's it? That seems low, no?
I feel like that's a low. That's low because he's getting paid, I believe, close to 17.5 million per season, if I'm correct. But that's what you normally get out of the running back market, since it's ridiculous, low. You could get the Saquon Barkley or CMC for a very cheap contract, honestly, compared to other players. That's almost the same contract, Mike, as John Runyon. And that's insane.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
That's how bad the running back market is because no one appreciates it. No one cares about the running back market because, as you said, once running backs, they have a couple years, they don't last long. They don't get enough money. That's the problem. Derrick Henry's not going to get a lot of money. He's not going to get a lot of money in this.
Yeah, Derrick Henry's a free agent?
Yes. Tony Pollard also got signed today to the
Titans. So he's not going back to the Titans, Derrick Henry.
Yeah, Derrick Henry's not going back. They've made that clear. They've made that.
I know. Hey, anybody watching here, if you have a kid or something and they're trying to get into the NFL, don't invite him to be a running back. Tell him to be a guard.
How about a punter?
I don't know how much do the punters make, but I know. I mean, look, that's crazy. I mean, Christian McCaffrey's making $64 million, averaging $16 million a year. you got a guard that's 5 years, 100 million.
Yeah.
Wow. Let's just look at guards real quick. Why do they have left guard and right guard? I just want guard. I don't care if
I
it's
think
left
it's
or right.
I think it's determined because there's like some kind of like contract or something like that. Like it's some type of category they fit into. I don't know why. They just do that for some reason. I don't get it.
I think. Wait, is this the biggest guard contract ever? Quentin
Uh,
Nelson right now is 80 million.
it might be.
Yeah, because I think when I go in, it's the same thing for left guard and right guard. Owen
Um,
Jenkins is number 2.
I believe Chris Lindstrom's the number one guy because he got paid 5 years, 103.5 million, which made him the highest paid guard.
Huh, it's not updating here. So this is a right guard.
I don't know. It just told me guard in general, Mike. Like Lindstrom's averaging 20.5 million per season, while the Colts Quentin Nelson's averaging 20.2 million per season. Because it goes him, then Jenkins at 17 million for his number 3. Before I looked at the this is from 2023 of the NFL guard salary rankings, where Jenkins is averaging 17 million for 4 years, 68 million. And now the market just kaboom went up. So yeah, that's it. It's very interesting. So if you want to get in the NFL, people go be an offensive lineman. You get paid a lot of money, mostly guard.
Well, tackle, but yeah. So pretty reasonable, I think. Signings for Saquon and Josh Jacobs and Tony Pollard. I saw Derrick Henry still out there. Imagine you got Derrick Henry too, if you could get him for cheap.
I don't think that'll happen. He's the rumors I've heard he might go to Baltimore.
I agree. I was just saying, but imagine Josh Jacobs and Derrick Henry.
Well, you get the reunion of Matt LaFleur and Derrick Henry because they work together.
I see what you're saying. Yeah, Chris Lindstrom's number 1 at 102.5. Robert Hunt's number 2 with 100 million. There's a big difference between right guard and left guard.
Yeah. I don't know if it's because of running backs, of like how they run the football or something like that. I don't know.
Maybe because you invest all this money in the left tackle, that the left guard is not as important as the right guard.
Probably.
But yeah. So we'll see. But what a day in Packers. I mean, this is going to go down. We're going to remember this day for many years to come. Like we remember the Zarius Smith, Preston Smith,
That was a great day.
Adrian Amos,
Billy
Turner Day, the four-person day. This is only 2 right now, just 2. But we've also lost 2, so it's kind of eye for an eye at this point. We lost Aaron Jones, got Josh Jacobs, lost Dave Bakhtiari, got what do you call it, Xavier McKinney. It was literally 1 for 1 on both. We saved a lot of money with David Bakhtiari, got Xavier McKinney. We saved some money with Aaron Jones, got Josh Jacobs. So I think the Packers can get one more signing in theory. I don't think they will. I think they're probably gonna see kind of where the cards fall out. But in theory, we probably do need offensive linemen. I don't really think Sean Ryan is the guy, and even if he is, then where's our depth then?
Yeah.
So we're definitely gonna have to draft. Definitely gonna probably get somebody to free agency, but we'll see. But today was an exciting day in Packers land, a bittersweet day.
Yep.
And definitely warranted a emergency podcast. So thank you guys for joining. If you came on, but in a fun time, and definitely a great time to be a Packers fan. I think this is really a new beginning, Jeremy. If last year wasn't the new beginning, this is the new beginning. Let's just go on the Packers roster right now.
I believe the average age now is 24.9.
Which is definitely
it went younger because
much
of Bob.
younger.
Yeah, that's younger than my brother. That's shocking.
Wow. I'm old, 28.
That's for millennials and old timers there.
Man. But yeah, I mean, this is the oldest person on the Packers right now.
think it's Preston, if I'm correct.
No, Josh Neidman, 28. I'd be the oldest one.
How? Okay.
Wait,
I'm
sorry,
so-
that's in the offense. That's in the offense. You're right.
Oh,
Preston's 31. Devondre Campbell was 30, but this is not what
but
do you
he's
call it,
gone.
updated. He's gone. Eric Wilson's 29. Rudy Ford is 29. Yeah, I would be the oldest person on the offense. Not the oldest person on the team. You're right. Preston is the oldest person on the team.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of weird. Why do we even have? Is Josh Neidman a free agent though?
No, we haven't cut him yet, and this is the thing that shocked me, Mike. We haven't cut him or Royce Newman. We cut Aaron Jones before Royce Newman. That is what I don't understand still. We could save like $5 million from cutting both Nyman and Newman. I still don't understand that. You make that deal, you're good, Packers. You can spend a little bit more, and I expect them to get another safety here in free agency. And I think they'll address offensive line definitely in this draft. First round, I'm going to take the statement here. This is reminding me, like we just mentioned about the big four from the 2019 free agency. This is reminding me of we taking Rashawn Gary this draft. We taking a safety this draft is my bold prediction. That's how I'm feeling. I'm getting that vibe.
I agree. So Alex Jenkins is the oldest like major player in the offense. He's a few months younger than me, but Josh Jacobs only 26. I mean, that's a big thing to get younger at the running back position right there. I mean, that's why they made a deal at the end of the day. You got younger, you probably got more production out of him, definitely more durable. It's the right move. It really is. It's the right move. Yeah.
Much more moves to the Packers, and they still got to do some other deals with like re-sign maybe Keyshawn Nixon maybe here and there. I don't know. They might re-sign some guys, but the only guy I've seen they've re-signed was Tyler Davis, who tore his ACL. Great special teams guy. He didn't play at all during last season, and the Packers really loved him. So that's good for us, Mike, of where we get a special teams guy playing.
Yeah.
Who's a tight end. So, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Man, it sucks getting old, Jeremy. Stay young. You know, like I'm what do you call it? Like talking bad about these guys because of their age. You know, like, oh, he's 29.
Karma. That's karma for you. It's coming right back at you.
I always prided myself when I was like early in my career that I was like ahead of everybody, like in terms of age. Definitely try to do things quicker than everybody else. If you try to, you know, after college, like those first 5 or so years is like a big part of your life. Like definitely, you know, take advantage of it.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little bit weird leaving college, I'll be honest, but it's a big part of your life. Definitely take advantage. But you see what I'm saying? Once you get to 29, 30, you like start to become old. Like 24, 25. Oh yeah, that guy's young. Like he's in the. That's the guy we want on our roster. Like Preston Smith is 31. Nah, he's old. What do you mean? He's 31.
In football terms, that's called you're an old man. You're a very old man.
I know.
You're just
but
trying
really in life too. Like, I mean, once you get to like a certain age, you're like, oh no, like you're not getting any younger.
Yeah. I don't know.
See, I'm going through it right now. You know, I'm only 28, but I'm almost 29.
Maybe you should go get drafted in the NFL, Mike. Go sign with an NFL
This
football.
is my last chance. If I want to be it, I gotta do it now. The Packers won't take me very soon. We're gonna become like Leonardo DiCaprio. You know, once 25 hits, that's it. Time to find a new player. You know.
Yeah,
Once 30 hits, not even 29. That's it. You're not on the Packers anymore.
Exactly.
You know, we need a new girlfriend now. Sorry.
Hey, just do like me, Mike. I did my combine video. I sent it to the Packers, and hopefully I get drafted. Why don't you? You should do the combine, Mike.
Look, I told you we'll do the combine in person. We'll see who can win.
I think I would win very easily.
Well, we did tennis, so you win on that one. I think I'm sorry. I think I'll beat you on the lifting aspect. I did long jump in high school. I wasn't very good at it, but I did do it, so maybe I could win at that. You're a little bit taller than me, so you'd probably win on the high jump, right?
High jump, speed one, I could also win.
I don't know. We'll see.
What's your 40-yard dash time?
I'd have to look. Honestly, I don't know. I don't know. But what was yours?
4.9. Yeah, that's enough for me right
I don't
there.
know. I'm not sure. I really don't know. I mean, I'm pretty fast. Like I'm decently fast. Um, so I think I probably got like 5.2 if I remember correctly from
Okay.
what do you call it? When I did it in Green Bay. Really, you got 4.9? Not
Yeah.
bad.
Yeah.
If I remember, I did like 5.2. Like I'm not super slow. I'm actually
Yeah.
pretty fast. But the thing is yeah, you might win there. But I'm not sure. We have to do it.
Yeah.
And then what other things are there?
There's
The football
the
thing? No, I'm winning there. So.
which kind of the football dance? I think I win that
No, no,
easily.
like the different football, like catching the ball and stuff, like the
Oh
drills.
yeah, I think
Yeah.
I could win some of that.
Well,
I think I could win the
I
punting.
beg to differ.
Punting, I could
Oh,
win.
absolutely. That was actually a nice punt you had. Yeah, you could definitely beat me on that. That's not even a question. That was a nice punt. Like you actually should look at the. You should have been a punter. Like honestly, that was a pretty nice punt. I gotta say.
I watched video of one YouTuber called Hang Time, and he's an actual punter, and I watched his clip of like advice, and I watched a little bit, and I was like, all right, I think I can do this now. So a 45-yard punt is not bad. I like that.
And that was your first punt ever, just from watching that one video.
No, that I did the punt before. Like the last time I did it was like a 37-yard punt.
But this was like just from watching a video. You never did like grew up like trying it.
No, no,
Really?
I probably should have.
Send me the video. Maybe you got to stand on equal grounds here, right? So maybe I needed to learn. Maybe I'm doing something wrong. Um,
It's most of the hang time. Like it's like you have to like have your foot like right at it, and it's like you gotta have that ball hang up in the air like at least 4 seconds to hang up in the air, and then see how it bounces. Because like you have to have a good hang time. That's like very key of having the ball stay up in the air
of
for
the
a little.
release.
Yeah, so like once you kick it up in the like once you kick it, it's gotta stay up there for a
No, I get it.
decent. And then yeah, it depends on
But
like your time. Like if you have a 5 seconds,
it's
that's pretty good.
it's about the impact of the ball, how
Yeah,
you kick it, and like where you release it, and where in the foot you hit it, right?
yeah,
So like that's what I gotta learn. I mean, obviously I know hang time is important. I know what happens in the air, but it's generating the power and generating
yeah,
the rotation on the ball is a difficult part. So
yeah.
all right, so how we doing? Do you have anything else?
Um,
Final thoughts?
yeah, we'll do final thoughts. What if you're Brian Gutekunst right now? What do you do for the Packers?
How do I feel?
How
Long
do you
day
feel?
work at home, say hi to my kids, my dog, long day at the office.
All right. What do you do if you're Brian?
All
What
right.
if you do? What are you doing
All
here?
right. I'm Brian Gutekunst.
Yeah.
I wish
What
I
do
would
you,
have had a beer or something to like crack right now. But there you go. Look, I think this is a legacy free agency for me. I made him some moves. Jimmy Graham first year as GM. Then we had Zadarius Preston, the big four, Billy Turner, and Adrian Amos. That was a big season. Most of the Packers fans were not used to that after Ted Thompson, so that really made a name for myself.
yep.
That obviously, there were a bunch of years where I really had no choice because we had Aaron Rodgers. We had to keep our guys, keep the team together, keep the band together, and I really had no money to play with. Last year, my cap was screwed from Aaron Rodgers, and we had to take our medicine.
Yep.
So there's not much I could do there either. I hope the fans realize that. But this year was the first year I could do something, and I made two big splashes. I made Josh Jacobs. I made Xavier McKinney. Xavier McKinney in general was a huge signing. Did I get lucky a little bit for the fact that this coach was in Green Bay? Maybe. Don't worry about that. But still, we made the deal done, and it's something that's big. Josh Jacobs, obviously, people are not going to be happy with lost Aaron Jones, but I think the logic makes sense. It's not an easy decision. Obviously, we lose a lot in the um, locker room presence. This is a young team. To lose a guy like Aaron Jones caliber in the locker room is something that's not going to be replaced. Not only is it not going to be easily replaced, it's just not going to be replaced. And that could be a big risk for my team because it's a young team and not having any veteran leadership at all really anymore is scary. And that's really the value that Aaron Jones brought. So I'm not happy we lost Aaron Jones. That's why we tried keeping him. Fortunately, we might have been a little bit too cheap on him, but that's kind of the way it works sometimes. But I think we upgraded at the position from a football perspective, from a team perspective, and leadership perspective. We clearly downgraded. There's no doubt about that. So, but from a football perspective, I think we upgraded. We got younger at the position, and we would have had to spend the money regardless. So. Might as well give it to the younger guy that has really had a lot of production in his past. So I'm happy. I'm happy where we are today. I think where we stand is we definitely made the team better. I think we could use some veteran leadership. So I think that's where we're looking for. We're looking for some guys that, maybe later in their career. I think we want to be older now. I think having, more age is actually a plus for the team.
Yep.
Somebody that maybe is in their last, a guy like Mercedes Lewis in theory, right? Somebody that's going to provide a lot of mentorship, a lot of leadership to the team. Not going to command a high value. Probably not going to be the guy you want out there all the time.
Yeah.
But somebody that is, going to be a guy to look up to for these teams, to be a pillar of success. A guy that's a proven background. Someone like there's some safeties out there. Maybe I'm blanking. Is Buda Baker a free agent? He is, right?
I have no idea off the top of my head. I don't think he is. I think he's more of like a trade asset. If I were to
Sorry,
ask,
I could be
but
wrong about that.
I mean, there's some guys like you go after Diggs, Adams from Seattle. Then there's Blackman, who I think the Packers are very interested in. There was Cameron Crowe. He was the second guy off the list from the second best safety coming off, but I'll take that. Of Xavier McKinley, and then there's another guy too. I think the Packers might actually go after him a little bit, but he's like a lower tier. Like he's a lower tier like guy. I think the Packers, that kind of fits what the Packers, what most fans would expect we would go after, like a cheap sign deal, but still. So yeah.
I'm on spot track. Let's just see. Let's look at age. I want older players actually.
Make the oldest. So that's 28, Mike.
Wow,
Or 30.
Xavier McKinney was literally the youngest free agent on the market.
Hey, that's what we are now.
Literally the youngest free agent. Geno Stone is the second.
Well, he went to the Bengals.
Yep, you're right. Everyone in this list went somewhere. Wait, so there's.
Those are a lot.
Oh, sorry. It's the youngest of people that went somewhere. The rest of them are not gone. Patrick Queen is still on the market.
I would like him. I would really like him. However, I think Seattle is going to get him due to the defensive coordinator coach from Ravens is now the head coach for Seattle, and the Seahawks did lose Jordan Brooks. And here's the thing, Mike. I wouldn't mind the Packers go after Bobby Wagner. If you look at his stats, he had one of the best stats in his career last year, and he's old. So I wouldn't mind him pairing with Quay Walker. I think that would be the move the Packers can make, Mike, or or Brian Gutekunst, for me to say, sir.
All right, so here's the move I'm going to make. I want to make this move.
All right, let's go.
I literally just said his name. Available players. Third oldest, Mercedes Lewis.
No, I'm not taking him, Mike. I'm not taking him.
I'd get him back at vet minimum. I wouldn't pay anything if he wants anything more than vet minimum. But I think that he would provide the leadership that we're looking for, and he already has provided the leadership, and a lot of people are used to him.
I wouldn't take him, Mike, just because I believe that I have at least 4 tight ends in that room.
That's the problem. That's the problem, right? You got Luke Musgrave, you got Tucker Kraft. You're not going to lose them, right? So you got 2 of them.
You still have Josiah DeGuara.
I'm fine losing him.
I want him out, but I don't. But again,
isn't he a free agent anyway, DeGuara?
He might be. I can't remember.
I don't think he's on the team right now.
Still, I feel like that's too much tight ends in the room almost. I mean, I would like him.
DeGuara's already gone.
Okay, then maybe we could go after him if you want to make the 3 tight. If you want to make it a 3 tight end room at least.
But Tyler Davis, I think, is back, right? They just re-signed him.
So right back again. We're at 4 then. I would bring him in as a head coach.
Outdated.
They're not head coach as a coach. I'll bring him in as a coach. I would do that.
I would actually do that. Yeah, I agree. That makes
Especially,
sense.
yeah. I think
Um,
Mercedes playing days are over. Just do that.
yeah, and maybe he retires. I mean, that's fine. Look, I'm just saying, but I'm trying to think of what other age Calais Campbell's out in the market. 37. I mean, I don't know.
That's
That's
no.
old for a
That's
defensive player.
no.
Um,
There's Clowney, but he had a very good season, Mike. But again, I don't think we need it because we're
here's an
trying to.
idea. Here's an idea for you, Jeremy.
All right.
Linval Joseph. He's a defensive tackle. We're
Mhm.
going 4-3, right?
I remember him. He
35 years old.
See, my problem with him though is like he was great with Minnesota. Don't get me wrong, but when you look at his later years, he got worse and worse. Like when he was on the Eagles, who's run a 4-3 defense, Mike, he did not do so well in that, and that was not great. See, personally, I wouldn't mind him, but he didn't do a great job in that position, and
Guess
that's
what
the
he was
thing.
making last year on the Eagles? Sorry, wait, did he take a year off?
He might take a year off. I think he did play for the Chargers too.
No, sorry, he was on the Bills last year.
Still, I don't think he's
He
not.
made $1.6 million. I mean, that's the guy we want. Somebody making vet minimum money.
Yeah, but again, the production, it's not there.
All right.
That's my issue. That's my issue with it. He's got to have a bit more production with the guy.
What about a
Bit more
DJ
production.
Reader?
Okay, I would take him. I would take him, Mike. I would take him.
He's gonna command some money though.
He is though. That's the problem. He's going to command some money. You got to find not a so vet minimum guy. You got to find like a lower tier, like just above. Like might be just getting him on cheap deal, not the veteran minimum, but like a cheap deal. I would take that because that's where I'm at with that.
See, that's why. Look, Aaron Jones was the best. I really wish that they didn't try to get cheap with him. I really do.
That's my problem because they try to get 50% pay cut with him, where he's already taken that. That annoys me more because it's kind of like what Roger said, Mike, many years ago, of where Packers don't treat the veterans well when they leave, of like when they about head out, like Jordy Nelson, Rogers, John Coons, is what he mentioned, but I disagree on that. Randall Cobb, like you look at the veterans on this Packer team, like for many years, they don't get treated well when they're about to leave, especially if they want to come back for a year or two or something like that. They don't get treated well from Aaron Rodgers, what he said.
I agree. And if you look at what Aaron Jones just posted on his page about farewell, he said to my teammates. He didn't say anything about to the team, to the organization. Didn't say anything.
Well, he did like the fans. I think he said that.
I don't even think he says it to fans. I think he
Wow,
says to
what
my
the heck?
teammates.
All right, well, that's great.
I mean, let's look.
The man. I mean, come on. You gotta be kidding me here. You gotta be kidding.
He just says, I appreciate all my teammates making the past 7 years truly special and love you all.
Great. That's great. That's great.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. I that doesn't sit well with me, the Aaron Jones thing. As much as I'm happy about what happened today, losing Aaron Jones does not feel well. But honestly, probably need to happen.
Yeah.
Sooner rather than later. But yeah. MVS didn't get signed today.
No, he could come back to the Packers, Mike.
I don't think so. I think the Packers are set a receiver. I mean, Christian Watson's basically an MVS. I don't really think you need MVS.
I mean, the only other person we said last week is Xavier Worthy. That's the only other guy we considered because he was the speediest guy. So
Quandre Diggs, that could be a good signing.
See, that's what I'm saying. You need a low tier guy, and he fits the low tier guy for the Packers. And he's a former Lion, played for the Seahawks. I don't think that's that bad. I just don't think it's that bad.
That's your guy, right? That's who you think is going to come?
I think it's him or Blackman or who else is there? It's someone else. I have to look at the safety list again, but like those are some of the key guys I think that could be up there though.
All right. So thanks for jumping on. Emergency podcast. We'll see. Maybe we have an emergency podcast later on in the week if there's things to talk about. But I really don't think that there's going to be as much emergency as today. I mean, today's always the crazy day. Definitely crazy day. Probably one of the
Oh,
more crazier free agents in general in the league.
yeah.
I feel like there's been a little bit of a lull in prior years. There's going to be a lot of information coming this offseason. What's going to happen with the number one pick? Are the Bears going to trade it again and get a huge haul? The Vikings going to maybe trade for it. I mean, I could see the Vikings try to get it, although I don't think the Bears would trade with the Vikings. Why? I mean, the Vikings need a quarterback.
Well, yeah, I don't think they're going to trade for the Bears, but I think the Vikings are going to trade for the quarterback. And what I heard from Tom Grossi before we did this show, Mike, he was at the combine, and what he heard personally from scouts and people in other organizations was the Bears are going to take Caleb Williams. That was what he's heard. So my assumption is Bears are not going to trade the number one pick, and they're going to take Caleb Williams. And the Vikings are definitely going to trade for a quarterback. However, there are many teams that are going to be trading up for a quarterback in this draft. There are many teams I can see in the first round that could do it. Especially from the Vikings position to, I believe, the Saints position, there's at least 4 teams right off the bat that could take a quarterback or trade up for a quarterback. However, I don't think the Broncos are going to be trading up since they have no assets.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Well, it'll be interesting. So we did our show early this week, so we'll see. Probably not till next week unless something major happens. But anyone who joined today, definitely thanks for joining. Fun day to be a Packers fan. Although bittersweet for sure. And I just wanted my final thought is thank you to Aaron Jones for everything he's done for us for the past number of years since he's been a Packer. He really was one of my favorite Packers of all time. And it's going to be weird not seeing him on the field. Like we're a little bit numb to it now after losing Aaron Rodgers, after losing Devontae Adams. Like this is just another one there. But losing him, losing Bakhtiari, our childhood is officially over. I mean, it really is. Our childhood is officially over.
That was me with Aaron Rodgers. So, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's it. I mean, Preston Smith doesn't count. He was what do you call it? Signed a few years ago.
And
so that's it. I mean, this team is a completely new team.
Yeah.
And it's all on Goody. If this team wins, Goody's the one to cheer.
Or Hail Goody.
There's no more Ted Thompson on this team. That Ted Thompson's gone.
Well, there's only one player left, Mike, from the Ted Thompson era, and that
Kenny
is
Clark.
Yeah, Kenny Clark. That's the.
But Kenny Clark's relatively young. Kenny Clark's I think like 2 days older than me, or 2 days younger than me. It was really young. But from Ted Thompson. But yeah, but I wouldn't even count that honestly. I mean, obviously it was a Ted Thompson pick, but yeah, that's correct.
Yeah, so there's that. So as Mike mentioned, yes, we will do another podcast this week if there's something that comes big for the Packers, if we have to have another Packers podcast. But we wanted to do this tonight because we couldn't wait till Thursday just to savor it all. We wanted to do it tonight.
Too excited. We had to get the real energy on the stream. Thursday would have been like old news at that point.
Yeah, exactly. We didn't want to be like Mike. He's very old, folks. He's very old age too. So we didn't want to make sure Grandpa wakes up. We wanted to make sure he was awakened. So we want to make sure Grandpa's awake for that. But yeah, so appreciate it, folks. Make sure you leave a like on the Twitter and the YouTube and subscribe to the Twitter and the YouTube. I am only 18 subs away from 300. So please make sure you go sub. Would do that. And I did see the Twitter results on PackReacts Twitter. I will disagree heavily on that, folks, about that debate of me or Grossi. Clearly, I think I won. I think I clearly won. If you want to look at the stats and all that, I will say that. Mike can debate all that. Next week, we will be having a special guest come on, folks. We will reveal him next week, folks. We will be doing that. Mike, do you have any last thoughts real quick?
I think that was the information for me there, too. Is it definitely next week?
We are looking towards next week, so very likely, Mike, we'll be, it's looking like it.
Wow. So we got, if anyone's watching right now, I got to say, we have some big news, and this is all on Jeremy again. Jeremy's he's the guy here. So great job, Jeremy. He's the recruiter. I mean, maybe you have a second what do you call it? Career in if sports media doesn't work out for you, recruiting is your thing. So this is going to be a big one. So we definitely need to make sure. This is on me. I run the Twitter. I don't always put out when we're gonna go live. I should probably do that. Although it just comes up on your thing, so it's actually like a surprise. Like hopefully, like oh, PackReacts is on. But next week, as long as we can get everything situated, we're gonna make sure to get everything set up, and we'll have an announcement beforehand. This is exciting one. So no, but we can't announce it yet. So just want to build up the suspense there. We're excited from everything that happened today, but we'll add some more excitement to people's life. Today, March 11th, 2024.
Exactly, and it's almost just a couple days away from the 4-year anniversary of COVID, folks, and when the whole place shut down. So,
yeah. And also, my remember the one PackReacts that I haven't been on?
What was that one?
Well, granted, I guess there was another one, the one you did by yourself, so like that doesn't really count. Remember your friend did it, the one who does the playing card. I mean the trading card.
Yeah.
The Browns fan.
Yeah.
That was about a year ago at this point. I remember the reason why was my apartment. There was a problem with it, and I was working through with it. And it, when it just got fixed, literally this morning.
Wow. So you didn't have to.
Well, it hasn't even got fixed yet, but I've got proven correct. I was proven correct.
So you didn't have to pay for any. So you still had to pay for the other stuff.
The gas. Well, so I haven't paid it. My bill is worth $2,700 right now.
Wow.
But nothing's got it completely fixed. Finally, I got the state regulator out. They came out, confirmed it, and everything is going to get hopefully fixed moving forward. But yeah, I got to see if I'm going to stay in this apartment. I got some big decisions coming along, so maybe you'll be seeing a different background. But next week we'll be in the same spot. So whenever I get a spot, I need to spend some time on my background. You got all the. Which crazy. I had this real big Packers flag. I won't tell you how I got it. It wasn't me. It was. I probably told you the story. I don't know if I said it on air. Hopefully I didn't say it on air. It wasn't me. I didn't do it. But anyway, I had this real nice flag. It would be perfect for the back. But I can't find it. I don't know where it is. My parents probably have it somewhere in their house. I got to find it. But I remember I wanted to put it up in the garage, make it real nice after I came home from college. And my parents were not having it. So it's got to be somewhere. We didn't throw it out. There's no way we threw it out. So it's got to be somewhere in the attic. I want to find it.
All right, so we'll have to do a vlog on that on the Twitter there for PackReacts of Mike. Can you find the flag?
Can I find the flag? Exactly. I don't know, but can I capture the flag? But
yes, capture the flag is that's Mike's assignment for next week. Can he capture the flag?
Yeah, so we'll see. But all right, it's been an hour 22 minutes here, so I think we got the point across. Yep. Xavier McKinney, Josh Jacobs in, David Bakhtiari, Aaron Jones out, plus some other guys. Devondre Campbell, Darnell Savage, John Runyon. That's it right now?
Yeah, that's it so far right now.
So we'll see tomorrow. On the Twitter, we'll be active. On the YouTube, stay afloat. Hopefully we have some more information to talk about. Maybe you'll see us later this week. If not, maybe next week with a special guest.
Yeah.
But definitely next week either way, but maybe with a special guest.
Exactly, folks. All right. You ready, Mike, for the usual music here?
Yeah. Well, first of all, where can we find each other? You want to do that?
I'll start first since we always have you go first. I already mentioned it. You can find me on YouTube, on my other channel too, which is the Philly Sports World, because I talk about my favorite Philly sports teams, the Phillies, Flyers, Sixers. This week I'll be having my Phillies prediction, my season preview of the Phillies coming out very soon. Then next week I'll be putting out my standing predictions of the MLB, of who I think will be doing great, who won't be. Yankees will stink as usual, folks. So you can put that aside right off the bat there. And then for the main channel, I'll try and do a March Madness group. I'm going to try and do that. So I'll let you guys know if I have a March Madness bracket group like I did last year a little, but we'll try and have that if I can, if I remind myself to. And yeah, we'll be having that. And then draft is coming up soon. So we'll be also be doing some mock drafts. We'll be studying a little bit more as we did a mock draft. So we keep doing that. And then we'll be doing our usual draft stream. This year, we are doing a home Homer version, which is the Packer fans, folks. That's what we're going to be doing this year. So it will be a tradition once again because this will be upcoming, I believe, my sixth year in a row, Mike, where I streamed the NFL draft through either Instagram or YouTube. This will be my 6th year, I believe.
Was each year with me?
No, because the first time I truly remember was with Sean Gary's draft. And I was streaming on my Instagram with a friend, and that didn't last long with my friend because he logged off like 5 minutes later. So I carried the whole night of being that. Then 2019. Then 2020 was, I believe, with you. No, excuse me, I don't think it was.
We did an Instagram one.
We did 2021 with Eric Stokes. That's what I remember. We did that one. 2020 was, I was doing it, but I stopped way before like the Packers draft pick of Jordan Love. I stopped before that because my phone was about dead during that time. 2021 we did, 2022 we did, 2023 we did. So this will be the 4th year, Mike. We will be doing this together.
There you go. We got to make sure we get good guests online. You got to make sure I'm working hard on this stuff. But we got to do something in person this year in Lambeau. If you're watching a podcast, reach out on this. We're gonna try to do some kind of we had Packers diehards on it. It's something we talked about. We got to get something going on. We got to figure out some times that work for everybody. That would be a fun event.
That would be. So we're gonna try and do that, folks. We're going to be trying to do that.
And it's not easy, but we'll see.
Yeah, hopefully. And Packers might be making some moves, as we already mentioned, folks. So yeah, we'll be doing that, though.
All right, you want to set us out?
Let's hit the usual music, folks. Go, 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 go.